future impacts unavoidable. Shadow report, reinforced layers, descending fields of rubble and twisted material. LP impaction, disappearing debris, original placement, unsupported expanses, collapse in rapid succession. Debris impacts generate fresh fault lines, the weakened material, surviving attachments, absorb impossible loads in each no failure. Containment effort reaches the failing cores, comrade sections, continue transferring burden into neighboring remnants, fractured foundations, transferring from their original placement, unsupported expanses, collapse in rapid succession. Debris impacts generate fresh fault lines, the weakened material, surviving attachments, absorb impossible loads, and each new failure drives deeper instability into an already devastated structure, approaching complete disintegration and permanent ruin. Broken assemblies continue descending into widening zones of shattered remains. Weakened swords surrender beneath relentless force and shifting pressure. Exposed substructures crack apart under escalating strain. Collapsing surface generate additional collapse through surrounding layers. Instability multiplies instability. Destruction compounds destruction. And the environment and destruction compass. No. Destruction compounds destruction. Barrage checkpoints dominate fortified transit corridors, lab armor, inspection units regulate the entrance and departure surveillance platforms, sweep mathematical lock above occupied compounds, reinforce partitions, divide entire districts into controlled sectors, biometric scanners process endless queues beneath floodlit canopies, loudspeakers repeat directs through concrete passageways, patrol detachments circulate between guarded intersections, transport convoys move according to authorized schedules, observation stations, activity from LA's galleries, access credentials determine every transition through secure boundaries. Warning notices cover structural surfaces from floor to ceiling, and every surrounding space bends beneath an expanding apparatus of impose. Obedience and calculated pressure. Permission governed control districts operate beneath unmental. Demands acceptance, every limitation reduces autonomy in the growing instructions. Forms occupied ground into an avowing, governed by surveillance, inspection, pressure, recommended display. Parts of approved behavior and entire populations adapt their actions beneath increasing layers of coercion embedded into ordinary routines and movement patterns. Extends into every operation, no litter running up. Monitoring infrastructure reaches deeper into connected sectors. Procedural approval becomes mandatory through routine transitions. Enforced response applying pressure. They've been finding terrestrial passages, still cladding flexes. Veneered impact, suspended fixtures. Rattle from strings, observation glass fractures. And cascading shards, ventilation does shiver with violent resonance. Containment will buzz against expanding floor storage enclosure. Tremble along crowded aisles, overhead supports groan under continuous lactation equipment housing. Shake beside overloaded speaker arrays. Dust erupts from cracked surfaces with every pulse. Warning indicators flicker through turbulent air, and every enclosed section absorbs another layer of a punishment. Punishment driving materials, fatigue, erosion, and structural decline. Pressure accumulates through overlapping frequencies as reflected waves strike every boundary without relief. Vibration migrates through columns and flooring, concealed weaknesses emerge beneath sustained resonance. Mechanical fasteners loosen under repeated stress. Surrounded to continuous explored through intrusion. Erosion driven and electronic pressure to pressure. Repetition without interruption. Amplification towers unleash heavier waves through crowded sectors. Wild sector surfaces multiply destructive resonance. Partition walls bow beneath sustained repetition. Shudder against reinforced frames. Support brackets straight under continuous vibration. Overhead piping rattles through enclosed corridors. Monitoring blurs from lateral oscillation. Cable mount loosen along stress. Containment panels crack at vulnerable points. Airborne particles swirl beneath turbulent pressure fields, and entire sections descend into progressive degradation. As of descent, force of raw material resistance and accelerate structural failure through our connected areas and support elements. The silent interval interrupts the assault as layered frequencies converge into concentrated pressure. Vibrations pass through connected structures with increasing intensity. Concealed fractures widen beneath repeated excitation. Hardened surfaces transfer force into neighboring assemblies. Wanting points surrender under accumulated stress. And every reflected wave returns carrying fresh disruptive energy into an already compromised environment and weakened architecture under constant attack.
Gridlock precision, curtains illuminated, production corridors are calibrated, manipulators place final components at exact intervals, constraint pullings delay the uniform materials to designated sectors. Verification inspects surfaces with mechanisms, articulated mechanisms rotate according to regulated timing. Storage columns remain aligned and flawless schematic formation. Positioning models of assemblies by predetermined increments, indicator erasing schedule parameters, regulated motors, sustain constant rotational pace, allocation stations distribute resources through balance routes, maintenance platform remain fixed at assigned locations. Every operational element contributes to environment shaped by accuracy, repetition, and unwavering mechanical discipline.
Coordination persists through interconnected performs assigned functions
Without elation, regulated time and remove point surging, clashes replace control the ton through every situation, cushion never reparation, allocations to stay Baba, so I'm in precision up. Automated carry Synchronized equipment processes material to rearrange phases, positioning arms, place components with repeatable accuracy. Assessment modules confirm outcomes against established references. Control transfers maintained under optimal relation between operational zones, rotational assemblies, operated fixed rates, environmental regulators preserve stable conditions. Segmented work areas maintain functional separation, tracking devices record each completed station. The planned allocation in every section to make it to exact range lanes, repeatable performance and discipline, precision free from distraction. No unnecessary varying consistencies and weird decisions. I never say your one conversation done.
Whirlwinds of surge from overcrowded concourses, off intersections, colliding chaotic streams of motion. Steel barricades skid over pavement under concentrated pressure. Elevated footbridges shut up and need accelerating footfall. Storefront shutters rattling frenzy holes and entangled to debris traffic lanes. Vanish beneath converging masses. Warning beacons disappear behind expanding waves of activity. Discarded as they tumble through turbulent passageways. Utility fixtures wave beside congested junctions. Voices fuse into a continuous roar that overwhelms every announcement, and each surrounding block absorbs another eruption of collective force driven by urgency. Escalation in a check momentum. Distinct contentions dissolve beneath swelling numbers of separated clusters combine into light currents. Effects of vegetation evaporates inside running pressure. Directional guidance loses influence over accelerating clouds. Emergency instructions vanish beneath overwhelming volume reaction. Spreads faster than coordinating restraint weakens through constant reinforcement, and the entire district slides order through accumulation. Intense impulse without limitation or pause. Silent convection, packed avenues become channels. Vigilance, sweat bands, concentrated pressure overwhelms barriers and control points through repeating impacts. Disappear in each shifting feed. Access gates collapse under repeated impact. Shattered panels scattered through turbulent air. Emergency routes clogged with converging bodies. LED platform shaking beneath uninterrupted access. Directional markers vanish beneath debris. Communication becomes impossible. Beneath the constant roar, maintenance barriers topple into passageways. Observation points lose visibility through drifting dust, and entire sectors descend into instability as expanding mass overwhelm every remaining ingot to restore structure, order, control. Individual purpose disappears inside the larger surge as cluster groups combine into walls of pressure and activity. Damaged structures absorb repeated shocks from every direction. Converging routes feed additional intensity into traffic zones. Temporary obstacles swept aside without recognition. Surrounding boundaries lose significance, being overwhelming presence. And each fresh arrival amplifies the force already driving escalation forward through accumulation, reaction. Overflowing corridors continue channeling unstoppable. Advance through damaged intersections and crowded passageways. Fractured barriers mark former attempts at containment. Compressed ranks push through confusion and impact without slowing. Concentrated pressure at every connected route, and gathering point momentum feeds reaction. Disruption expands. without restraint or limitation. Gradually fractures. Ironclad checkpoints dominated, fortified boulevards while armored and spec-shame teams regulate every arrival and departure. Surveillance towers sweep deliberate arcs above occupied compounds. Entire districts into control sectors, biometric scanners process endless queues beneath flooded canopies. Loudspeakers broadcast directives, concrete passageways, patrol detachments circulating, guarded innocence. Super combos advance according to authorized schedules. Observation gallery activists from elevated positions, access credentials determine every transition through secure boundaries. Warning placards
Cover structural surfaces from floor to ceiling, and every surrounding space bends beneath an expanding apparatus. Impose obedience and calculated pressure. Authorization governs ordinate as regulated pathways. Narrow through succession, monitoring to choosing Narrow through succession, monitoring to choosing intersection.
evidence and truck and ships operate beneath uninterrupted. Distant locations through unified supervision, tactical formations, reinforce strategic intersections, review panels, evaluate recorded conduct, control schedule.
Shape daily operation, inspection teams verify adherence to procedure, warning dispatch, reinforce approved behavior, and entire populations adapt direction, need increasing layers of coercion embedded into routine.
Conduct and movement patterns. No unsupervised corridor remains as oversight. Every operational infrastructure reaches the procedural approval becomes mandatory for routine transitions. Enforce and response arrive immediately after deviation. Regulated conduct replaces spontaneous behavior. Any restriction strengthens an already extensive fix. Ensure I'm control, maintain focus and visibility. Institutional pressure. Broker comes and doesn't need it. Broker comes and doesn't need it. Sponsored oversight entangles algorithm observation and consumption letting explanation. Listenary thorn jones and designated travelers led in the distribution. Saturated ray chambers, post beneath the light, estimate all stack processes, grind through expanding cubes, unresolved activity, cooling ducts, force torrents of heated air through crowded surface passages, transformer arrays vibrate under excessive consumption, distribution, overloaded conductors, diagnostic interfaces, flood with escalating fault notification, storage clusters struggle beneath continuous transfer pressure back. Engage in rapid succession without recovery intervals, rotating drives on the critical threshold. Containment housing turn around stress regulators, warning strobes, cut through dense mechanical ways, and every connected assembly absorbs a burden far beyond the limits originally intended for stable operation. Available capacity loaded infrastructure, never believe. alternate with escalating intensity while overworked. Route models redirect excessive demand through constrained pathways. Building inclusions, trap expanding heat around critical components. Switching arrays, hesitate beneath continuous pressure. Monitoring interfaces filled with cascading alerts. Support mounts vibrate against stress frames. Emergency bypasses forces additional burden into weakened sections. Storage banks choke beneath uninterrupted activity. Environmental controls losing effectiveness against rising temperatures. Warning counters accelerate beyond expected values. And entire operational zones descend into mechanical fatigue as accumulated demand overwhelms sustainable performance and reliability across connected assemblies and facilities. The margin remains available as growing consumption until remaining in the source. Overloaded nodes, propagating, dithering, clearing stress pathways compete for shrinking through throwing tensing device inside crowded compartments. Moaning picture methods fill the housing, splitting and camel wheels and no weeds. Additional operate beyond safe parameters. Scatter sparks illuminate dark mechanical compartments, and the final reserves disappear into complete overload. Degradation and system failure without recovery or
Narrow containment corridors stretch beneath reinforced bulkheads, while sealed chambers hum behind security doors. Pressure indicators hover near critical thresholds without crossing this ventilation streams. Through constricted ducts, observation windows reveal silent machinery carrying immense loads. Steel breaks beneath accumulated strain. Access hatches remain locked beside active sectors. Inspection crews will measure restraint through monitored passageways. Descending packs travel through buried foundations. Warning displays pulse at controlled intervals. Vibration lingers inside support structures in every surrounding surface bears the weight of restraint. Force held at the edge of release without resolution.
Suppression gathers around active infrastructure as concealed pressure accumulates behind.
Reopen their secure boundaries, contain immense strength beneath discipline. Regulated environments preserve order while all pressure pushes against every safeguard. Every safeguard. Every safeguard. Every safeguard. Every safeguard. Never surrender. Every sound implies comments. Every vibration suggests impending change. And the attention transforms routine operation into a suspended state. Balance between stability, pressure, imminent disruption. Pressure, imminent disruption. Pressure, imminent disruption. Observation stations monitor fluctuating measurements while isolating compartments endurance alone. Support assemblies contain a lot engaging gain levels of protection. Components conduits transport regulated flow through routed route status indicators pulse. Decide restricted sectors protected partition separate vulnerable areas from critic operations. Environmental controls compensate for rising pressure verification. Inspect structure and integrity at short and intervals. Reserve mechanisms remain prepared for sudden response. And every connected section appears sustained by effort rather than certainty. As accumulated strain presses harder against established limits and tolerances. No visible rupture emerges despite constant pressure gathering beneath. Reinforced position can lay structure without opportunity for recovery. Control the trench will recover. Kendra will totally recover.
No visible rupture emerges despite constant pressure gathering beneath reinforced services.
And containment layers, procedural lettings through the parturition means structural opportunity for recovery. Controlled equipment maintains a continuous adjustment. Restraining then again it has an escalation. Escalate. Escalate. Blood pressure. Escalate. Escalate. Imminent disruption. Levitation awaiting a decisive outcome. Low vibrations continue through sealed corridors.
Secure chambers remain closed behind layered containment barriers, monitoring displays hold steady beside fluctuating measurements. Restrained machinery operating beneath persistent load. Distant impacts, structure depths, compressed air circulates through confined pathways. And the unresolved pressure remains contained, yet ever present without diminishing its weight, breadth, or intensity.
Needle arc slash between below the terminals, wild tangle conductors vibe right inside the forge. Service chambers transformer course pulse with uneven transfer patterns. Insulation free from overheated pathways. Really much is shatter through conflicting sequences. Distribution racks trembling need unstable flow maintenance. Stroke static filled air contact plates. Erupt with intermittent discharge. Grounding grids from undermining disturbance. Switching assemblies and jet and proper intervals. Diagnosis screen. Contradict your measurements. Cooling equipment strains against rising thermal pressure and their connected assembly becomes trapped inside. Crowded transmission, voltage, surge to strike protective barriers without warning. Synchronized timing dissolves beneath later understanding. Beneath later resetting, rapid succession, conductive surfaces crackle beneath straight discharge. Response accuracy deteriorates to connect equipment. And the entire installation drifts deep and escalating. Energized panels release continuous crackling discharge feeds inject additional turbulence into straining equipment switching models oscillate beyond acceptable limits containment housings vibrate under regular load regulation units struggle against fluctuating input in entire sectors descending as interference overwhelms coordination and replaces accuracy with violent electrical disorder and instability throughout acts of operation. Remains of failures, competing flows and fade. Every wind they separating pathways, synchronizing fragments, Venetian through connected routes. Unstable circuits propagate disruption in every surrounding assembly. Electrifying each exchange of energy, resistance weakens, contamination expands, fluctuation spreads. Stored failure, through arcing distortion, uncontrollability, currents, and indiscert per pathways. Residual discharge, cycles through dark service corridors. Besides storage equipment, housings damaged, conductors go above our fracture panels, warning indicators, liquid panels. Mangled superstructures buckle above abandoned transit decks. Fractured Vegas twist through clouds of pulverized concrete suspended, walking sheer from break points and plunged into hollow interiors. Retaining sex split beneath shifting loads, elevator course then exposed to side.
Collapsing chains, steel members grind against broken columns. Utility trunks burst from shattered conduits. Maintenance gantries fold into debris filled voids. Heavy slabs hammered through weakened flooring. Dust torrents roll between damaged passageways. Cracked eject fragments through turbulent air. And every surviving connection struggles against a spreading chain reaction to failure, consuming entire sections in violent succession. voids, retaining barriers, separating blocks. Suspended machinery, tears free from exhaust. Extra structural frames roll under accumulating stress. Shattered particles slide through dense dust clouds. Exposed interiors reveal torn layers of concrete and steel. Unstable ledges crumble without warning. Fractured anchor points release. Assemblies in the lower depths. And whole sectors disappear. Beneath descending masses as accumulated damage overwhelms every remaining source of support and balance.
No containment ever reaches the lane. Force compromise, section you transferring burden into neighboring remnants. Fractured foundations drift further and already to replacement.
Unsupported expanses collapse in rapid succession. Debris impacts generate fresh fault lines through weakened materials. Surviving attachments, absorb impossible loads, and each new failure drives deeper instability into an already devastated structure, approaching complete disintegration and permanent ruin. Broken assemblies continue descending. The widening zones of shadow remains. We can surrender beneath relentless force and shifting pressure. Exposed to structures start apart under escalating strains. Collapsing surfaces iterate additional collapse through surrounding layers. Stability multiplies and the final remnants disappear beneath their own failing weight and endless structural collapse.
Unchecked actuators through crowded processing corridors, while automated assemblies execute conflicting routines without correction. Accelerate beyond program parameters. Robotic manipulators sweep through unsafe trajectories. Hydraulic systems fire in irregular paths. Transport barriers abandoned designated routes and drift into restricted sectors. Control terminals flood with contradictory instructions. Access barriers cycle without sequence. Warning sirens compete with grinding machinery. Monitoring displays refreshed with corrupted directives. Sensor arrays misread surrounding conditions. Maintenance teams retreat from unstable equipment. And every connect operation slips farther from predictability as coordination fractures beneath cascading malfunction and escalating disorder. Recovery attempts to dissolve inside expanding confusion as automated response. Interconnected equipment and missions for regulators fluctuate without pattern or consistency. Loading assemblies collide with uninspected objects. No communication should dominions. Color mismatch information until you mismatch information between sectors. Containment barriers disengage during cradle interval surveillance feeds. Lose continuity through active zones. Emergency override activate against distinct routines. Calibration of risks become increasingly unreliable. And entire operational regions descend into turbulence. Execution separates from intention and process that tidbits from planned directions. No governing authority remains capable of restoring stability as disconnected functions pursue incompatible objectives through active infrastructure response. Chains overlap without coordination. Fault conditions propagate through equipment. Mitigation never generate additional destruction. That the duration be once breathingly unreachable, and every remaining procedure just order and prolong. Driving my contradiction, confusion, malfunction, and expanding uncertainty. Black out when the system start. Easy process, so stop. Cause any propelling vision, fertility is pinch. Contagion, interior region, the atom braided, can see but just all the reason that's
Avalanche crowds burst through overload. Concourse back intersections to form into chaotic rivers of motion. Steel barricades scrape across pavement.
under concentrated pressure. Elevated walkway shutter, burning deck, accelerated footfall, storefront shutters, submarine fencing collapses. Twisted debris, traffic lights appear beneath converging masses. Warning beacons vanish behind expanding surges. Discarded objects tumble through turbulent passageways. Utility fixtures sway beside congested junctions. Voices merge into a relentless wall of noise that overwhelms every announcement. And each surrounding block absorbs another eruption of collective force, driven by urgency, escalation, unchecked momentum.
Separated tensions dissolve beneath swelling numbers and scattered clusters combine. Currents of activity, hesitation evaporates inside mountain pressure. Directional guidance loses influence over accelerating forces. The instruction disappears beneath forward volume reaction spreads faster than coordination.
Restraint weakens through constant reinforcement, and the entire district slides toward disorder through accumulation. Intense and impulse without limitation or pause. Preserve the count, pattern as they pass. Roads look funny, there's a crowded terminals, all fractured railings bend. Concentrated weight abandoned, kiosks disappear beneath. Shifting feet, access gates collapse and repeated in half. Murder needles scattered through turbulent air, emergency routes clogged with converging bodies. Elevated platforms shake beneath uninterrupted advance. Directional markers vanish beneath debris. Communication becomes impossible beneath the constant roar. Maintenance barriers toppling up passageways. Observation points visibility. Drifting dust in entire sectors. Descend into instability as expanding numbers overwhelm every remaining effort to restore structure, order, or control. Individual purpose disappears inside the larger surges. Cluster groups combine into moving walls of pressure and activity. Damage structure absorb repeated shocks from every direction. Converging routes feed additional intensity in the crowded zone. Temporary obstacles are swept aside without recognition. Surrounding boundaries lose significance beneath overwhelming presence. And each fresh arrival amplifies the force already driving escalation forward through accumulation, reaction, and collective momentum alone.
Overflowing corridors continue channels top of the left through damage intersections and crowded passageways, fractured barriers, momentum, containment, compressed frames, push through confusion and impacts without slowing containment, passage spread, passers spread through every connected route and gathering point of peace, moment, reaction, peace, reaction, disruption spans, and the environment advances toward widespread disorder through persistent storm, and the overwhelming force of collectation, no limitation.
Gradually fading into distant echoes above damaged intersections. Damaged intersections of brain and transit ways.
Lens like concrete pours from ruptured mezzanine ends with route fractured support cages. Twist through clouds of pulverized debris, suspended access lines. Theropod above hollow interiors, retaining sections, a shifting weight. Elevator chamber. Exposed rod depths behind, shattered panel steel members scrape against collapsing partitions. Utility conduits burst from broken channels, maintenance gantries full bends. Got it all, heavy slides, fractured, weakened, flooring dust storms roll between damaged corridors, cracked anchors, eject fragments through turbulent air. And every surviving control goes against a spreading sequence of mechanical failure, consuming entire sections in violent succession. The need
and distressing sections in violent succession.
beneath drifting particulate compromise joint can see the separate what was side of your silicone if your porcelain material eliminate correct to combination you make breeze spin you meditate trim packs and vertical. Shadow report, reinforced layers, descending fields of rubble and twisted material. LFD impaction, disappearing debris, original placement, unsupported expanses, collapse in rapid succession. Debris impacts generate fresh fault lines, between material, surviving attachments, absorb impossible loads in each no failure. Screaming back, it reaches the failing cores, come my section, continue transferring into neighboring remnants, fractured foundations, referring from the original placement, unsupported expanses, collapse in rapid succession. Debris impacts generate fresh fault lines to weaken material, surviving attachments, absorb impossible loads, and each new failure drives deeper instability into an already devastated structure, approaching complete disintegration and permanent ruin. Destruction compounds destruction. Barrage checkpoints dominate for transit corridors while on inspection units regulate every entrance and departure surveillance platforms analytical compounds reinforce partitions divide entire districts into controlled sectors biometric processing rescues beneath floodlit canopies repeat directs through concrete passageways patrol detachments circulate between guarded intersections transport convoys move according to authorized schedules observation stations record activity calories access credentials determine every transition through secure boundaries. Warning notices cover structural surfaces from floor to ceiling. Every surrounding space bends beneath an expanding apparatus of imposed obedience and calculated pressure. Remaining rubber control districts operate beneath fundamental. Every instruction demands acceptance. Every invitation reduces autonomy and no instructions. Into an avowing governed by surveillance, inspection, crushing, recommend displays, risk of preps and farce of approved behavior. And entire populations adapt their actions beneath increasing layers of embedded into ordinary routines and moving patterns. Extends into every operation, running up. Monitoring the structure reaches deeper into connected sectors. Procedural approval becomes mandatory for routine transitions. Enforced responses survive immediately after deviation. Regulated conduct replacing forcing risk. Pressures applies, without hesitation. Bring all the utterance, nation regulated, guard up the logistic complexes beneath impact suspended fixtures rattle from straight mountains, observation glass fractures into cascading jars, ventilation duct shiver with violent resonance, containment grills buzz against expanding for storage enclosures, tremble along crowded aisles, overhead supports blown under continuous taxation equipment housing, shake beside overloaded speaker arrays, gusty rock from cracked surfaces with every pulse, warning indicator flicker through turbulent air, and every enclosed section is another layer of a punishment driving materials of what fatigue, erosion, and structural decline. Compressed, accumulates through overlapping frequencies as reflected waves strike every boundary without release. Vibration migrates through columns and flooring, concealed weaknesses emerge beneath sustained resonance. Mechanical fasteners loosen under repeated stress around a circum continuous explored through intrusion, erosion driven in sonic pressure to pressure repetition without interruption. Amplification towers unleash heavier waves through crowded sectors, sector surfaces multiply destructive resonance, partition walls bow beneath sustained tactician access doors, shut against reinforced frames, support bracket strain under continuous vibration, overhead piping rattles through enclosed corridors, monitoring converse through blurs from lateral oscillation, cable mounts in a long stress routes, containment panels crack at vulnerable joints, airborne particles swirl beneath turbulent pressure fields, and entire sections descend into progressive degradation as if descent force of all material resistance and accelerate structural failure through our connected areas and support elements. No silent interval interrupts the assault as layered frequencies converge into concentrated pressure. In resonance, vibration spreads through connected structures with increasing intensity, concealed fractures widen beneath repeated excitation. Hardened surfaces transfer force into neighboring assemblies. Wanting points surrender under accumulated stress. And every reflected wave trends carrying fresh disruptive energy into an already compromised environment and weakened architecture under constant attack.
No.
Saturated chains, overwhelming press and pressure while weakened barriers fracture under expanding resonance patchwork. Suspended debris shift beneath fading resonance, cracked surfaces reveal widening damage through multiple layers. We can hang from distorted buildings, dust settles over battered structures, and the final echoes leave the landscape permanently shaped by relentless through relentless underground.
Gridlock precision governs illuminated production corridors while calibrated manipulators place identical components at exact levels, control lanes to lead the uniform materials through designated sectors. Verification scanners inspect surfaces that measure consistency, articulated mechanisms rotate according to regulated time. Storage columns remain aligned with flawless geometric formation. Positioning models and assemblies by predetermined increments, indicator arrays update the schedule parameters, regulated modes sustain constant rotational pace. Allocation stations distribute resources through balance routes. Maintenance platforms remain fixed at assigned locations, and every operational element contributes to environment shaped by accuracy, repetition, and unwavering mechanical discipline.
Coordination persists through interconnected activity as equipment performs assigned function.
Population regulated time and remote point certain clashes replace and drop the ton through every single way. Concussion, never reparation through mission, non-occasion, system bottom, so representation up. Representation up. Representation up. equipment processes material through carefully arranged phases. Positioning arms, place components with repeatable accuracy. Assessment modules come from outcomes against established references. Control transfers maintain uninterrupted progression between operational zones. Locational assemblies operating fixed rates. Environmental regulators preserve stable conditions. Segmented work areas, functional separation tracking devices. Record each completed per station according to planned allocation in every section to mimic to exact range lanes. Repeatable performance and discipline. Precision free for income distraction. Necessary varying concision. Season rare that a decision.
No unnecessary anti-stimulated procedure. Cover every attacking transversion.
Good and never hated, awakened and red and dead. Got waited, awakened and red and dead. Cause I don't reckon and they no one recommended. Cause I don't reckon that until I never say your one conversation.
Whirlwinds of body surge from overcrowded concourses, while packed intersections collecting streams of motion. Steel barricades skid over pavement under concentrated pressure. Elevated footbridges shudder beneath accelerating football storefront shutters. Rattling fencing folds into tangled to debris traffic lanes. Vanish beneath converging masses. Warning beacons disappear behind expanding waves of activity. Discarded objects tumble through turbulent passageways. Utility fixtures sway beside congested junctions. Voices fuse into a continuous roar that overwhelms every announcement, and each surrounding block absorbs another eruption of collective force driven by urgency, escalation, and unchecked momentum. Distinct contention dissolve beneath swelling numbers of separate clusters, combine into larger currents of vector vegetation evaporates inside mountain pressure. Directional guidance loses influence over accelerating clouds. Emergency instructions vanish beneath overwhelming volume reactions. Faster than coordination, restraint weakens through constant reinforcement, and the entire district plays order through accumulation. Answered impulse without limitation or pause. Silent convection, packed avenues become channels of relentless bands. Concentrated pressure overwhelms barriers and control points through repeating impacts. Sensitivity shifting feet, access gates collapsing, repeated impacts, shattered panels, scattered turbulent air, emergency routes clogged with converging bodies. Elevated platforms sit beneath, uninterrupted at the direction. Workers vanish beneath debris. Communication becomes impossible. Maintenance barriers topple into passageways. Observation points lose visibility. Drifting dust and entire sectors descend into instability as expanding numbers overwhelm every remaining enough to restore structure, order, or control.
Individual purpose disappears inside the larger surge as clustered groups combine into moving walls of pressure and activity. Damaged structures absorb repeated shocks from every direction, converging rapidly at additional intensity into crowded zones. Temporary obstacles are swept aside without recognition. Surrounding boundaries lose significance beneath overwhelming presence, and each fresh arrival amplifies the force already driving escalation forward through accumulation, reaction, and collective rhythm alone.
Overflowing corridors continue channeling unstoppable advance through damaged intersections and crowded passageways. Fractured barriers mark former attempts at containment. Compressed ranks push through confusion and impact without slowing. Concentrated
restraint or limitation. The roar gradually fractures. Ironclad checkpoints dominated fortified boulevards while armored inspection teams regulate every arrival and departure. Surveillance networks we deliberate arcs above occupied compounds. Divide entire districts into control sectors. Biometric scanners process endless queues beneath floodlit canopies. Loudspeakers broadcast directive through concrete passageways. Control detachments circulate guarded innocence. Transfer concepts advance according to authorized schedules. Observation galleries recur as from elevated positions. Access credentials determine every transition. These warning
Over structural surfaces from floor to ceiling, and every surrounding space bends beneath an expanding apparatus of imposed obedience and calculated pressure. Authorization governs ordinate his pathways. Narrow through succession, minor every strategic dissection. Narrow through succession, minor every strategic dissection.
ground, never is ground. Truck of ships operate beneath uninterrupted. Panels evaluate recorded conduct control schedule.
Shape data operation inspection teams verify the procedure warning displays reinforce approved behavior, and entire populations adapt their actions beneath increasing layers of coordination embedded into routine.
Conduct and movement patterns. No unsupervised corridor remains as oversight. Every operational alert and infrastructure reaches deeper interconnected sectors. Procedure approval becomes mandatory. Routine transitions enforcing response arrive immediately. Deviation regulated conduct replaces spontaneous behavior, and each additional restriction strengthens an already extensive fix. Ensure on control, maintain co-person visibility and scrutiny is restricted. Broker car comes and doesn't need it. Broker car comes and doesn't need it. Sponsored oversight contains algorithm observation and depletes consumption benefits. Foolish self-calculation, very control. Legalizing designated terms led to extradition. Saturated relay chambers, pulsing relentless demand. Processor banks grind through its unresolved activity. Cooling ducts full of unsalted air. Crowded service passages, transformer arrays vibrate under consumption. Distribution cabinets rattle beside the conductors. Diagnostic interfaces flood with escalating fault notifications. Stored continuous transfer pressure. Backup units engage in rapid succession without recovery intervals. Rotating drives on the critical threshold. Containment around stress regulation.
impossible flow. Density of the channel, flood with unresolved transfers, accumulating through every connected layer. Overheated assemblies operate at the edge of failure. Every task generates a dissonant strain. Every request deepens congestion through adaptive operations. Stability gives way to saturation, and the growing burden transforms coordinated activity. Landscape of stress, degradation, and relentless process. Dense equipment racks resonate with escalating intensity while overworked routing markets redirect excessive demand through constrained pathways, sealing traffic expanding beat around critical components, switching arrays, hesitate beneath continuous pressure, monitoring interfaces filled with cascading alerts, support mounts, unpredicted stress frames, emergency bypass force, additional burden into weakened sections, storage banks choke and uninterrupted activity. Environmental controls lose effectiveness against rising temperatures, warning counters accelerate beyond expected values, and entire operational zones descend into mechanical fatigue as accumulated demand overwhelms sustainable performance and reliability across connected assemblies and facilities. No reserve margin remains available as growing consumption absorbs every remaining resource. Overload nodes propagate into bibbering clips, stress pathways compete for shrinking through third-person device inside crowded compartments. Lonely picture of the data housings, Wilson, now we additional operate beyond safe parameters, scatter sparks, illuminate mechanical components. Final reserves disappear into complete overload, degradation, and systemic failure without recovery or release.
Narrow containment corridors stretch beneath reinforced bulkheads, while sealed chambers hum behind layered security doors. Pressure indicators hover near critical thresholds without crossing them. Dense ventilation streams force through constricted ducts. Observation windows reveal silent machinery carrying immense load. Steel braces grown beneath accumulated strain. Access hatches remain locked beside active sectors. Inspection crews move with measure restraint through monitored passageways. Descending packs travel through buried foundations. Warning displays pulse at controlled intervals. Vibration lingers inside support structures, and every surrounding surface bears the weight of restrained force held at the edge of release without resolution.
Anticipation.